Hello, my freaky darlings. Welcome back to Wytchwood. So we are going to be continuing from where we left off. The last we did was the ram. I did record another video last week, the coffin of Andy and Lele. However, that was over 4 hours long. I managed to cut it down a little, but I'm not going to upload that until I have a good thumbnail for it. And I have an idea in mind, I just have not been able to work on it. I'd say we're about getting close to halfway through Wytchwood at this point. Alright, I was just home. And I need to go to the market. Because today, we're going to be doing the cat. No, that's the beach. No, that's the village. The market is where we need to be. Do the cat first and then the rat. And if I feel up to it, maybe we'll get to the fish today too. Alright, that's, here we go. We need to speak with the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. That insufferable baker! I'll tear his nose off the next time I see him. Settle down, Master Chandler. You're being duped by a prankster. Pah! A prankster? It was that baker, I'm sure of it. I don't see no evidence to the contrary. You want evidence, eh? I bet there's a clue around here that will unveil the truth. Get some evidence or get out! Perfectly ordinary supplies. Completely mundane. More ordinary supplies. Nothing out of the ordinary there. So you know what we need? I think we need some revealing powder. I have the feeling that we're going to need a lot of this. I'll take those. This bag smells suspiciously of sulfur and has a shipping address stamped on it. Pier 3 Imports, the dockyards. Pier 3 Imports instead of Pier 1. I don't have anything left to reveal. But I do have a pier that I can go to. But before I do, those nails were just out in the open, huh? Oh. The soot sprite is getting away. The nastiest of birds. Come on, chase me. It's the benefit of being faster. I need to deal with that goose first. Well, that is ass. Caught the soot sprite anyway, though. Oh, it wasn't a baker, it was you, the blacksmith. Or no, there's no butcher, I think it is. Because he did say that there was a baker. Ah, that blasted Chandler, I'll wring his scrawny neck. Calm yourself, Master Blacksmith. You're being played for a fool. Ha! Fat chance. Only some hard evidence could ever convince me that it wasn't that blundering knave. If someone really has been sneaking around in here, there ought to be some clues left behind. Only evidence could possibly change my mind. I'll just snatch those up. Nothing out of the ordinary. Some fireworks have been hastily shoved into this coal barrel. A tag on the firework reads, "Property of Town Watch. If lost, please return to the village gallows." So now I just have to go to the baker. Who should be somewhere around here. Well, that's a butcher shop, but I can't go in. That's a Rat King. Here it is. Bake it till you make it. Hello. That oafish blacksmith just grinds my gears. I'd give him a smack on the brow next time I see him. Master Baker, please settle down. You've been tricked. Ha! I very much doubt that. Only a fool would believe that story without any evidence. Fine, you want evidence? I'll go get you some. The true criminal must have left clues around here somewhere. Well, have you got any evidence yet? I'm gonna. Completely mundane. You never know when you're gonna need these. This strange vase doesn't look like it belongs in a bakery, and there's still some bugs and dirt inside. An inscription on the side reads, Harold Grimes, hanged under the old grave tree for crimes he never committed. Ah. So that's how I talk to him. Alright, getting back to the center of town. I think we're gonna go to the graveyard first. If I can remember which portal leads me there. The crooked fellow peers down at you as if you're someone else coming to make fun of his eternal predicament. You spot a piece of paper floating inside his translucent body. What you got there? Don't suppose I can convince you to cough up that paper, can I? Spirit salts. What an interesting coincidence. You sprinkle the exorcising salt onto the ghost. He sputters and sneezes, the paper suspended inside his head before going back to swinging as if nothing had happened. Looks like a page of someone's diary. My best plan yet. These grave bugs will make the baker's buns taste like embalmed eclairs. I'll just dump the dirt out of the stupid urn to carry them. It should be proof enough to convince the baker who the real culprit was. Take it. And now we have to go to Pier 3. Here's Pier 4. I only have 2 crab traps, I can't be wasting them. hungry but unwilling to take any action to satisfy that. Good to know. Tier 3 imports, it said. Well, I think that means that I need to make a fishing line. What did I need for that? This is the shipping address for the sulfur crates, but you don't find anything incriminating. You do, however, spot something wedged between the watery piles of the pier. Something must have gotten knocked off the docks, or was purposefully disposed of. Let's reel it up and take a look-see. You fish out an empty sulfur tin with a wet paper stuffed inside. Though the ink is running, you can still make out the loopy handwriting. Another brilliant strategy by the world's most brilliant strategy. That's me, the cat. If you're reading this, then be sure to write down my name in the history books. This sulfur smells so rotten it will put those candlesticks the Chandler makes right in the trash. He'll think the baker did it when I dust the shop with flour. Well then, this is the proof the Chandler is looking for. Take it. And the gallows in the village. No, little crab. I will take that, though. So where were the gallows in the village? They were nearabouts where the ram was, I think. Footprints are still there. Yes. You peer through the slatted planks of the town's gallows. It doesn't look like it's seen much use recently. The space underneath it is stuffed with evidence storage and parade decorations, including a box of dusty fireworks. An errant note catches your eye, but you can't quite fit your hand through the wooden planks. Drat, I'll need something thin and grabby. Well, I know exactly what I could, do for that. Gloves. What? Oh, a pickpocket glove. Which means I'm going to need some of these. Which means I need to go back to the forest. Actually, I can make one here. Thank you. Oh, 2 of them. That's fortunate. You pluck out the slip of paper from under the gallows. It looks like a torn notebook page, hastily stuffed in a crack, almost wanting to be discovered. If you're reading this, then you've no doubt been witness to my greatest crime spree. I, the cat, will be remembered throughout history as the greatest underground mastermind. The town flatboots will never notice a couple parade fireworks missing, and that blacksmith buffoon will lose more than a few chest hairs. How arrogant. This proof ought to convince the blacksmith of the cat's involvement. Taking it. And they're still partying. I'm glad they're happy. I forgot where the gallows were, so I took us around town for absolutely no reason. To the market. You know, if you're gonna fucking commit crimes, don't sign your name on them. You know? Okay. Candle maker here. I was looking for the bakery first, but you know. Get some evidence or get out! Cat's confession. The chandler's cheeks flush a bright red, stomping and shouting at the cat's confession. Why, that yowling pest! That's my whole livelihood she's messing with! You agree that the baker's innocent then? Him? Pah! Looks like he didn't have a hand in this horrible crime, though his bread's still stale if you ask me. As long as you three put a stop to this ruckus, maybe we can put an end to this grudge after all. I'll keep my eyes peeled for that darned cat. She won't show her nose around here again, that's for sure. Alright, and then the blacksmith. I wonder why they decided to go with a blacksmith instead of a butcher. Could be like the Disneyification of things. Only evidence could possibly change my mind. The man's beady eyes go wide with anger as he reads through the paper. Why, that no good cat! The whole market could have gone up in a big ball of fire! I take it you'll let the chandler off the hook? Sure, sure. Looks like he wasn't involved in this plot, though I still don't care for his candles much. Excellent. Maybe with you three at peace, we can get to the bottom of this. There's still one missing piece of the puzzle. Taking these. Okay, that's just cobblestones. And it was up this way. Ah, and up again. Well, have you got any evidence yet? The baker's brow arches in anger as he reads the cat's confession. That unrefined little urchin! How dare she tamper with my buns like that? You'll forgive the blacksmith then? Well, sure, it doesn't look like he was involved in this at all. Splendid. If you three can get along long enough, we can bring the real culprit to justice. Now that these three fellows have cooled down a bit, I better have a chat with that plump purple pony to figure out the best way to confront this swindler. I do like that in writing, the cat is basically neon. I like that. That's pretty cool. There you are. Oh joy, you're back. Did you find anything in those shops? It would appear your market is plagued by the mastermind schemes of the cat. Well, maybe not so mastermind as she did leave behind a bunch of clues for me to find. As though summoned, a furry-shaped somersault into a nearby rooftop with a flourish. Yeah, I see you're a fan of my genius accomplishments. Well, you're in luck. Soon I'll have this whole village at my mercy. Quickly, your magic horn! The unicorn shuffles its stumpy legs to get a better shot at the monologuing feline. With a flick of her tail, the cat disappears, leaving only her voice cackling in the air. Yeah, you'll have to be faster than that, slowpokes. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm not very maneuverable in high-pressure situations. Don't fret. We'll just have to make sure she stands still next time. I should be able to concoct a tantalizing kitty treat strong enough to keep her attention. I'll set it up by the big statue there. You just get ready to fire. A feline curio recipe? And a stuffed burb? Stuffed burb. Okay, witch spice and a kitty treat. I need to go fishing. And I don't have any pots at the moment. I knew it would take that. You, though. A mimic's toe. And a pigeon beak. I do have Snaptrap. There we go. Okay, I have a skeleton key. Oh, okay, so skeleton key first. Got it. Ah, you missed. Well, while I'm here, I might as well finally get the fish started. She is right next to the portal. Excuse me, can you spare any seashells? I tried all along the beach, but everyone else always gets to them before I can. She points along the shoreline where you see scores of fishermen digging in the sand. Every so often, one of them discovers a seashell and rejoices as if it were a gold nugget. Seashells? What's the big deal with seashells? The little girl looks down at the docks to a particularly large ship at anchor. See that big boat over there? My da's the captain. He's supposed to come ashore and tell me all about his adventures on the high sea like he always does, but he hasn't come out since they docked. So I tried to go and see him, but there's a grouchy sailor who says I can't go inside the boat unless I got seashells. So I tried to find some, but now everyone else is trying to find them too. There's not enough left for me. Sounds fishy, alright. You stay here, little one. Let me have a chat with this sailor and get to the bottom of this. Really? Well, I'll bet he'll listen to a grown-up like you. I promise I won't move a muscle. Fish puns. What's up, my guy? Whoa there, where do you think you're hobbling off to? Me? Well, I've come to visit my son. No, you ain't. The only family anyone on this tub has is the sea herself. And no one gets aboard unless they pay the toll in seashells first. What's a gull-brained swabby like you want with a bunch of dirty shells? Tain't for me. Captain got his own business with them shells. I ain't one to question him. So either bring me your dues, or cast off. The nice kind, too. Ones that sound like the ocean waves. That's the wrong button. How on earth did I get shells before? I will figure out the seashells later because I have forgotten. There's the cow. And with that... But that will finish the cat. Pique curiosity. You place down the scrumptious-looking cat treat and duck behind a pumpkin to hide. Within moments, you hear the telltale laughter of the cat over the market stalls. That's the best you can do. What do you take me for? A basic alley cat? You'll need more than a lump of garbage to catch me. Despite her lofty words, you see her eyes go wide and her tail flick as the scent of fish and catnip reach her nose. Why, I'm the most sophisticated criminal underlord this world has ever... Say, what is that? Tuna? You give the signal to the unicorn, but see that the beast is still facing entirely the wrong direction. Ugh, must I do everything around here? You slap the unicorn on its haunches, jolting it out of a daydream. Oh, what? Oh, right! The cat! The beast carefully takes aim at making sure to account for dragon wind speed direction. Alright, I've got her this time. By the light of the truth, I banish all lies from thee! A brilliant spark of rainbow light emits from the unicorn's horn and streaks towards the preoccupied cat. Fireworks! When the colorful smoke clears, you can't see hide nor hair of the cat. Only a smoldering pair of fancy leather boots remain near the statue. Wow, for a moment there, I thought all that talk about your magic horn was pure hogwash. I mean, usually it doesn't have such an explosive effect. I only meant to expel the lies from her, but... I guess she was all lies? Didn't have a truthful bone in her body. Well, whatever the reason, I suppose she won't be blighting your market any longer. Yes, that's right. I can't wait for another life for life to get back to normal. Thank you for all your help. You glance at one of the cat's boots slumped over on its side. I better go gather her up. You pick up the smoking boots of the cat. A rainbow hue radiates off the leather. They smell strongly of feet and candy. The soul of the cat. Though you suspect she may have 8 more lives left. Cat skin boots. And with that, we have completed the cat. Oh, steal seashells from fisher folk. Oh. Oh. Okay, okay. That's how you get those. Well then, I'm going to need a lot more fairies. Because I'm going to need these to distract the pluck, or not the pluck pockets, but the pickpockets, so I can make pluck pockets. That's a lot of pluck pockets to make. You do get 2 from them. Perfect. Always a crab in there. See, how many will that get me? I did say 4 should be enough. We will see. Oh my god. Well, that was, I was fortunate. I picked the perfect mark. Alright. Seashells. You hold out your collection of seashells for the sailor to inspect. Ah, fine booty. Excuse me. Go on and take him into the cabin. He'll see you're fairly compensated for your services. Board the boat. I'll take these. A dapper fish sits beside a hoard of seashells, obsessing over each one like a jeweler. He grabs the nearest one and runs his finned fingers carefully over the shell's spines. Bringing the seashell to his lips, he blows a low, trumpeting note. His bulbous eyes light up with hope as if waiting for something to happen. An uneventful moment passes, and he tosses the disappointing shell aside. Ah, you useless piece of flotsam! He grabs the next shell on the pile. This one, it's gotta be this one. Ahem! I'm looking for the captain of this ship. The fish's eyes swivel at you suspiciously. Eh? Are you daft? Can't you see my big head? I am the captain. You don't look much like the father of that little red-haired girl on the docks. Oh, then you must be talking about my predecessor. Tragic, really. The fish shakes his head and blows sad bubbles from his pipe. He grabs the nearest shell and runs his fin fingers carefully over its spines. What happened? Poor bloke went overboard during a nasty typhoon. Tried to fish him out of the drink, but I'm afraid to say he's with old Davy Jones now. As his trusty first mate, it was my responsibility to take up his mantle. He adjusts his oversized hat with pride. It's not very oversized when your head is that big. Now, you best have something for me, or else you wouldn't be wasting my time. Oh, you mean these seashells? The deckhand outside said you'd pay for them. The fish tears the seashells out of your hands with such force that you nearly lose your footing. He brings the first shell to his lips and blows on it so hard that specks of slime go flying everywhere. It makes a pathetic, squealing whistle. The fish slumps back down into his fat red chair, tossing aside the shell with sharp disdain. Cursed rubbish! I'll never find it! Find what? If you're looking to pick up a musical instrument, you're sure going about it in a funny way. Never you mind what, just bring me more seashells. He flicks an odd coin-shaped object at your feet. Great, more garbage. Take it. What's this? I just traded you a bunch of shells. It's the currency of the future. If you get in on the ground floor, you'll be richer than the Stag Prince when I'm in charge of things. Yeah, great, cryptocurrency. We all see how well that's turning out, don't we? So if you want to be set for life, you just bring me more seashells. Huh. I think I'll manage my own investments, thank you. A shame I'll have to break the bad news to the child about her father. You know what? I'm taking this. Damn it. And I don't have any bones to make a skeleton key. I'll come back for that. I will come back for it. Did you get inside the boat? Have you seen my dog? I'm afraid to inform you that your father was lost at sea. What? That's impossible! He's the captain, and a captain never abandons his ship. Who told you that he was lost? Was it that slimy first mate, the fish? As a matter of fact, it was. Why? Of course, that explains why everyone's collecting seashells. He's trying to find the conch. He's swindling everyone in town just so they'll help him find a conch shell? It's not just any conch. My dad used to tell a story to all who would listen. One night, during a terrible storm, a handsome young sailor fell overboard, and as he sank down into the sea, a beautiful mermaid came to his rescue. She brought him back to the shore beneath the lighthouse. It was love at first sight, but alas, they couldn't be together. She had fins and he had feet. But they made a special promise. Whenever he missed her sweet voice, he'd stand under the lighthouse and blow an enchanted conch. No matter where she was, she'd hear the sound and come to see him. That way they could be together, even if only for a moment. Isn't that romantic? It's just a silly fairy tale, girl. But that gross fish believes it. I bet he thinks he can make the mermaid fall in love with him if he gets the conch. They both got fins, after all. And maybe my daw's still out there. Maybe he got rescued by a mermaid just like in the story. Oh, please, you have to find the conch before the fish does. It might be the only way to find my daw. If the fish has everyone in town combing the beach for this thing, what makes you think I'll have a better chance? Maybe they're all looking in the wrong place? The sailor in the story lived in a lighthouse, not on the beach. in the lighthouse? I'm sure there was a lighthouse up this away. Yep. This old lighthouse has seen better days. Although it towers high above the pier, the paint has faded and the windows have crusted over with layers of salt. The door refuses to budge. Gross of barnacles and coral seem to have sealed it shut. You put your ear to the keyhole and hear the unmistakable roar of the ocean inside. With your face close to the door, you spot words carved into the weathered wood. Lengthy, babbling prose about love, loss, and the sea. Ugh, what terrible poetry. But mayhaps it's some forlorn magic left here by the old lighthouse keeper? Well, I don't have the time to go fishing for long-lost keys. A good dose of love juice ought to open up any embittered heart. Key to my heart, oceanic oil, and love potion. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. Alright, so I think I need a tidal tincture for this one. A deep one, yeah. And then I need one of those, and dryad fruits, which means I'm going to need a cinder box. What do I need for this again? I need weird water and a skipper scale. Oh, look at that. I have all the stuff I need for weird water. And I can get a skipper scale pretty easy. Now I just have to find the skippers. What was the tidal tincture? Right, I just went over that. Soporific potion. Alright, and I'm going to need a jar, which I don't have right now. Where are you? Where's my little skippy fish? There you are, you funky little thing. Skipper scale. Oh nice, I got 2 of them in one. Which means I just need at least one more. There you are. I had to dig you out. Alright, there's that. That's not what I meant to do. Alright, tidal tincture. I have plenty of that. So I just need a skeleton key, which means I need a mummified head and some grave bones. Alright, spirit salts today. I should have... No, I don't have one. That might have cost all of my revealing powder, but you know what? Can't be precious about everything. It'll respawn. Alright, need that. Okay, so I just have to dig. A lot of mandrakes. I don't think I need nearly this many mandrakes. Oh, look, you spawned again. I don't remember what these things, I don't know yet. That's why I don't remember. Ooh, can I get a single one? Hell yeah. Let's go. I can't believe I actually managed to pull off the 2 in 1. Alright, so skeleton key I need. Alright, oceanic oil. So that was a pretty quick and easy trip. Now, grab you. It's exactly what I needed. The rusty lock makes a sound like a sloppy kiss as you turn the key inside it. Bubbling and creaking, the aged metal hinges protest as years of grime dissolve away. The wooden door swings open to reveal a wall of emerald seawater. You can see fish swimming about inside, but not a drop crosses the threshold. Oh my! The entire lighthouse must be filled up like a bottle. You prod the salty aperture with your finger, sending ripples along the surface. Then, as if you pulled a stopper from a tub, the water begins to drain. Slowly at first, but quickly building to a ferocious speed, the waves cascade around you. You catch notes of a trumpeting sound droning above the crashing swells. The music turns to a soft whisper as the last of the flood is sucked away, leaving the inside of the lighthouse damp and encrusted with stranded sea life. You bend down to examine the source of the drainage. A golden conch shell is wedged between the waterlogged floorboards. A forlorn singing voice can barely be heard over the sound of falling waves. Take the conch! You put the conch to your ear. It sounds as if the entire ocean is contained within it. Ah, what a marvel. I wonder if the mermaid will still answer its call after all this time. The child's story said to blow it out over the water, under the lighthouse. I did it! Standing at the end of the pier, you blow into the conch. You feel a warm breeze pass through the salty waves and uplift your spirits. A crystal clear trumpeting note rings out from the shell and seems to still the ocean waters to a mirror shine. Sweet laughter chimes like a bell in response, and a shadowy shape approaches from the depths below. An enormous, full-bodied figure breaches the stillness of the water, throwing her hair back joyfully and extending her arms out to the sun. She thrusts her body up onto an outcropping of rocks, splashing her long fin tail in the waves. Aha! As the mermaid speaks, her voice is operatic. I don't know how to do an operatic speaking voice. My gifts, lain silent for years, now sound again, sad music for my ears. My lover long gone, but their memory still sweet. I thank you for the nostalgia, what would you entreat? I'm looking for a man lost at sea. He was the captain of that tall ship over there. You point to the high sails looming over the docks. I don't suppose you've had any dealings with him? This man I have seen, though his fate is not known. Placed on a plank overboard he was thrown. Downward he plunged, though not to the bottom. No, a great serpent swam up from the deep end. Got him. He was pushed overboard? That grubby fish told me he was lost in a storm. Did you see where this Leviathan got to? The lagoon by the shore holds a secret below. Send away the tides and the serpent will show. Keep that conch close, blow and I shall abide. I'll bring the strength of the sea to your side. With her song finished, she blows you a wet kiss and starts preening her hair with a spiny seashell. Alright, to the lagoon. Clickety clack. I'm gonna borrow this boat. Alright, I'm going to dig before I actually get involved with this. A menacing totem, standing guard over a conspicuous circle of seashells. This must be the place to blow the conch. I did it. You take a deep breath and press the conch to your lips. Its clarion call echoes across the rippling tide. You feel the waves swell around your feet, reverberating with the sound of the conch. The water disappears so fast that you're unsure if the tides are receding into the ocean, or if the seafloor itself is rising from the depths. When the waters recede, you look across the island to a yawning cave opening. From within, you sense the steady rhythm of enormous breaths. Alright, not this way. I'm just gonna grab those. Hello? The Ancient One. It is something very old. What this something is, we don't quite know. A whirlpool to the surface. You can't help but shudder under the powerful gaze of the monstrosity before you. A booming voice sounds throughout the cavern as if you were in the very throat of the beast. Who dares enter my sanctum? I have come looking for a man lost at sea. The coils of the serpent shudder and wheeze. You brace yourself as the creature reels back and unleashes a cough loud enough to shatter a mountain. Excuse you, have you caught ill, Master Serpent? You land walkers are all alike, forever throwing your refuse into my waters. I have been poisoned by your insufferable detritus. My stomach aches. Oh, my stomach aches. My insides burn. What's the matter? Did you swallow something you shouldn't have? I've swallowed many things. You should not be here, land creature. Now, now, you're not well, and I may be able to help you. Open up that gob of yours and let me take a look inside. Perhaps you have come to strike the final blow against me. Why should I trust you? You're being dramatic. I'm not going to hurt you, but if you don't let me take a look inside your belly, this sickness will surely fester. Doubtful, but perhaps I can humor you if you prove that you are friend to the ocean. Answer me these riddles 3, only then will I trust your words, Landwalker. The first of my questions. You pull my waters from the ground to quench your thirst. What manner of beast sits atop the well in your forest? I want to say it's a fish, but I don't know. Another question. You may bury your dead in the earth, but there is no escape from the call of the deep. Whose watery gaze watches over your graveyard? The being is atop the graveyard portal. I don't know. Final question. You landwalkers desire gold over all things, but in front of your banking house, what creature rules with true happiness? I haven't even seen a bank. You've answered incorrectly. Wait, let me try again. My memory isn't the steel trap it used to be. It's a whale. It's a mermaid. You'd think a fish would be on the well, but you never know. That is indeed a fish. So a fish, a mermaid, and a whale. Alright, first of my questions, it was a fish. Another question. The water grave of a mermaid. And a whale. The enormous creature rolls back its yellow eyes, bellowing with laughter. The laughter quickly succumbs to another bout of violent coughing. Curse my miserable body, can I not even enjoy a moment of levity? It appears I was mistaken about you, Landwalker. You have proven yourself worthy of my trust. The beast opens wide its cavernous jaws, filling the air with a fishy stench. Enter, but heed my warning. Break your word, and I will digest you without hesitation. Right, yeah, inside, I guess. A scraggly man in the least likely places. Best not to think about this. Well, he's the only thing here, so... Ahoy! Don't tell me that overgrown eel gobbled you up as well. Come and warm yourself by the fire. We ain't going nowhere soon. You look at the throbbing red walls of the monster's stomach and notice the discoloration and spotting. The campfire smoke is surely the cause of the beast's ailment. Actually, I came here looking for you, Captain. Eh? How'd you know I was a captain? There's a little minnow waiting on the docks for her father. Oh, my little girl, my heart and joy. I promised I'd see her as soon as we anchored, but I never got the chance. Has it got anything to do with that fishy fellow captaining your ship? Raising his arms in anger, the man stomps his feet on the fleshy floor. The outburst causes the serpent another coughing fit, rocking you back and forth. That rotten son of a barnacle! We were just a few weeks from home when he conspired to mutiny. Ever since I told him the tale of the mermaid and her conch, he got this hungry look in his eye. Ain't never seen someone so obsessed. So he and the other bad apples jumped me in the night and tied me up. The rest of my trusty crew as well. And that floppin' flounder made us walk the plank into the briny deep. I was praying to Neptune and he must have answered my call. This great bloody serpent swallowed me up and saved me from drowning. I've been stuck in here ever since. I can't seem to get out, but the fire keeps me from going all the way through the other end, at least. Though with that metal head of yours, you ought to have no trouble, passing through without much fuss. Just what I needed today. Say, while that smoke is causing our host great discomfort, I bet you'd both be happier if you parted ways. How you suppose we do that? Let me see what I can cook up with that fire pit of yours. If one were to build up enough irritants, the beast may be provoked into explosively expelling the source. A potion of blight, royal incense, and allergenic potpourri. Ooh. I do have dog hair. What the hell is this mass over here? A cat hairball. And then a rat tail. Okay, okay. And then a potion of blight. I can make that. Royal incense was the other thing. A smoke pellet. Pretty sure it was witch spice. Ah. Ah. Well, I was gonna have to leave anyway. One of these, don't think about it too much and you'll be fine.
A few moments later.
You're not gonna like this. Potion of blight. You set the smelly preparations beside the fire. And that's just what it all says. You pile the eye-watering ingredients on the campfire and fan the flames. Soon black smoke billows up and fills every nook and cranny with its stinging odor. The captain scratches his nose and stifles a great sneeze. Phew, that's quite a concoction. The serpent will feel more than a tickle in his throat. You feel a deep rumbling through the fleshy floor. Get ready to set sail, Captain. We'll be out of here soon enough. You kick up the smoky coals, spreading the aggravating haze until a rumbling quake knocks you on your backside. Landwalker, what have you... The captain leaps into your arms and the two of you clutch each other tightly as muscles contract violently beneath your feet. A surging contraction forces you up and out of the serpent's blowhole like a gunshot. You shoot out of the serpent's cavern and clear over the lagoon. The captain holds you tighter than a life buoy as you sail across the blue sky. The tiny harbor front below grows closer and closer until the hulking mass of a ship rushes up to meet you. With a crash of splintering wood and rushing water, everything goes black. Kaboom! You regain your senses and get to your feet. Despite feeling a bit soggy, everything seems to be in working order. Behind you, the fish's base of operation has been cracked open like an egg. Fishermen are busy rescuing shell-shocked sailors from the waves. Oh my, what happened here? You didn't see it? A great bloody cannonball came rocketing out of the sky and stove in the captain's pride and joy. The poor girl didn't even stand a chance. I've never seen such a shot so powerful. I think all hands managed to get clear of the wreckage, though. All hands? What about the fish? The buccaneer wipes a single salty tear from his face. He points to something familiar that has washed up on the nearby shore. You know what they say? The captain always goes down with a ship. It appears to be the bicorn captain's hat last worn by the fish, waterlogged and shot through with splinters. You reach down to pick it up, but it flops on the sand like some beach sea creature. The soul of the fish. Captain's cap! Let's go! You find the captain and his daughter in a loving embrace. Oh, Da, I just knew you'd come back. My sweet little Caesar, I'm so sorry I made you wait for so long. Can you ever forgive this old wash-up? Alright, the rat in the graveyard. Alright, I need bait sticks. I'm gonna have to go to the swamp. Right, if I just make a quick round here, that should get me enough thistles. Alright. It's not bad, not bad. Right, collect bat wings, ectoplasm. Oh! Great! I have everything. He squints at the fading label on the back of the lantern. Let's see. Bat wings. The webbed wings still flap of their own accord. The phantom goo feels as if it's attempting to pull you down beneath the soil. The crypt crawler silk is thick and smells oddly of lilac. I seem to have misplaced my reading glasses, so maybe you better prepare the mixture. You read off the well-worn instructions printed on the lantern. They're horridly confusing and riddled with spelling mistakes. How did these contraptions ever make it to the market in the first place? You better stand back. If I do this wrong, things might get a little explodey. You grind together the gruesome ingredients into a waxy paste before rendering the whole mixture down over the gravekeeper's cooking fire. The odor coming from the wet, bubbling soup makes the hairs in your nose prickle, but you power through it and pour the ghastly oil into the lantern with a rusty funnel. The gravekeeper raises one caterpillar-like eyebrow at you. No kaboom? Perfect. Give her a good shake. You swish the oil around inside the lamp and light the wick. Slowly, a bluish, unearthly glow fills the space around you. The light makes your teeth itch when you look directly at it. We're taking it, though. Take a look at that. Fresh as a daisy, just waving around, and should any wayward ghoulies try to accost you. I should clear the way to that miserable banshee, if and maybe you could ask her what all the fuss is about. Alright, let's go. Alright, upstairs. This is not where the banshee is, but... Come to taunt me as well? Taunt you? I've come to find out why you're throwing such a tantrum. You raise the dead with your wailing. The wraith's jaw drops to her collarbone, howling as her ghostly arms reach for you. You quickly raise the ghost lamp high, bathing the room in cold light. The spirit recoils away, covering her eyes with translucent hands. It burns. Why do you torment me so? Oh, quit being so dramatic. Now tell me what's got you so upset. It's gone. That sneak, that thieving, plague-ridden rodent stole it. What's gone? Who stole it? My family's crypt was defiled by that wretched rat. My most precious treasure, my brooch, it's gone. I will not rest until I have it back. Ah, the rat stole the brooch from your crypt. That's enough to make anyone upset. Yes, it was stolen, ripped from my breast. Where has it gone? Well, if the rat pilfered it off your remains, maybe he left behind a clue as to where he ran off to. But that crypt is jammed full of caskets. How will I know which box is yours? What was your name? I do not remember. Who was I? Everything is clouded by my suffering. Well, this was your house, right? There must be some relics in here that can point me in the right direction. Okay, I get it. I'll get to the bottom of this, then you can stop all this howling. Alright. Search the haunted house for clues. This heavy box seems like it might contain important family documents, but it's locked tight. I doubt the key is anywhere around here. I better just make my own. Do I have any bones? I do got some bones. You crack open the chest to find a collection of moldy papers and bills, but a heavy book at the bottom looks promising. In the cracked leather-bound tome, you browse through long-forgotten obituaries. And we mourn her death, the third of her siblings to pass. Much beloved, she will long be remembered for her beautiful singing voice and tireless pursuit of justice. That sounds like our Banshee, the third to die. That will make her casket the third one in her row. A family portrait. This corroded picture frame has almost been completely deteriorated. You can barely make out ghostly figures sitting together on the rotten canvas. A shame. Time has almost forgotten this family. Maybe I can restore just this little piece of them. A restorative idol, okay. What do I need for that again? Oh, a necromantic charm. Fortunate. Color and light flood back into the faded painting to reveal a content-looking family. You recognize one of the younger girls by her shock of hair and the brooch on her chest. That must be our Wailing Wraith, a granddaughter by the looks of it, so she must be on the lower tiers of the crypt. Alright, I don't see anything else upstairs. But downstairs, there may still be some clues. The shield. This embossed shield looks like it might be a coat of arms, but the face is so badly encrusted with patina that you can't quite make out what it is. A good cleaning ought to get this looking spick and span. A purification water recipe. There we are. Ectoplasm, 3 waters. Oh boy. I'm going to need a lot of water. So, I'm gonna cut here while I get what I need. Alright, how much did I need for that? I have enough. Which means I just need to... Actually... There's a pump here. I don't have to go anywhere. How fortunate am I? Just so fucking lucky. It was all right there. You clean away the grit and grime to reveal a proud lion staring back at you. This crest looks like it matches one of the burial rooms in the crypt. Let's go. I think that's everything I need to know. Banshee's body is buried under the crest of the lion. She's a granddaughter, so she'll be on the bottom row, and she was the third one to pass away. Yep, so let's go. The lantern's not gonna do anything as far as spiders go, but we'll be fine. Oh, you're back. Find out anything about our predicament? It seems like you've got a grave robber on the loose. The Banshee had a brooch stolen from her family crypt. A grave robber? Oh, damn those despicable degenerates. With the increasing coast, I haven't been able to do my nightly patrols. I need to get to the crypt and find her body. The thief might have left something behind. Well, good luck. That place is more spiders than I have liver spots, so you'll understand if I stay behind. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I do understand. I don't like spiders neither. To the crypt. So this is the owl room. Alright, the lion room. Bottom row, third to pass away. Doesn't seem like the right casket. Oh. You dig your nail under the loose plaque and begin to pull. The rusty bolts pop off the corners of the end cap and the whole thing rips off from the mossy wall. You toss away the grave cover and peer inside the dark hollow, holding your lamp aloft. A dozen of small, beady eyes blink back at you. Rats! You quickly jump aside as a torrent of vermin come pouring out of the coffin. Filthy little biters come to pilfer more graves. Squeaking and hissing, they flow like some lumpy liquid rushing back towards the entrance. You get the feeling these rats are far more organized than any normal pest. Where are you off to, you little devils? Running back to your master, perhaps? So I think I'm supposed to follow. Yeah, I gotta follow them. But they go so slow. You track the swarm of rats into the thorny bramble, their bodies whirling in a verminous mass. This does not, however, seem to be their permanent nest. If you could only flush them out, perhaps they would flee to their true source. A good spark ought to set this dry tinder alight. You can't hide from me, you beasts. Nope, wrong button. A cinder is the one thing I don't have. The brush is quickly subsumed in the tongue of the flame, scattering the rats beneath. Their frenzied rout is not without order, though. In a wave of fur and claws, they scramble through the graveyard towards the next hiding place. into this crypt. The horde of rats poured between the bars of this crumbling mausoleum, swirling in a gyre just out of reach. Once more, they've found a temporary refuge. Such a closed-in space seems ripe for a good smoking. They won't be able to hold their breath for long. Just a smoke pellet? Okay. That's exactly, Alright, the smoke emitting from the pellet is thick and concentrated. Even though they're below the worst of it, the choking fumes are enough to flush the rats out. Once more they rush forth, this time fleeing towards the shadow of the ruined church. Finally, can I get in here? The flood of rats squeeze through the bars of a great brass gate and disappear into the ruins of a squat, abandoned church. Heavy chain binds up the gate, and the rusted padlock is well beyond accepting of any sort of key. Something more potent will be needed to open it. Acidic, unguent recipe? Unguent? What the hell is an unguent? Well, weird water and potion of blight. Which, potion of blight I have. And then, I have so much fucking algae. The good thing that there is... Oh, fuck me. I'll just have to dig up some graves. I'm sure there's some clay somewhere. I'm probably going to need a lot of clay, actually. No, one more. One more for a second pot, and I think I need another 3 because I think I have to make 3 pots. Okay, we got that. And... right. Okay, maybe I didn't need that much. Maybe I'm just, over-preparing. I'll take the water, though. Alright, it says I can make this now. Alright, let's go melt a gate. The iron of the padlock wheezes in protest as it melts away into blackened goo. The chain falls away and you push open the gate to the churchyard beyond. Into the church. Tarnished candle holder. Where everything else has been knocked about, this still stands. I'll take those. A lot of coins. Suspicious. You attempt to pick up the candlestick, but find it attached to some mechanism inside the altar. A latch flips and you watch as a stack of boxes slide aside to reveal a hidden crack in the wall. Into the shadows. Hey, who in blazes are you? Who let you in, huh? I let myself in. You should really hide your secret lair a bit better. Though I must admit, this is quite the collection you've acquired here. Why, what's it to you? You looking to make a trade? We got whatever you need, sister, if you can pay the price, that is. As a matter of fact, I'm looking for an old antique brooch, and I heard you're the one to talk to. Yeah, we got plenty of brooches. Any of these beauties catch your eye? The vermin flips open his cloak, and you see it's lined with rows and rows of jewelry. You lean for a closer look. The items all look like priceless family heirlooms, but you can't pick out the one belonging to the Banshee. I'm not sure. I'll need to confer with my friend as to which is the right one. The rat narrows his eyes suspiciously and hides his wares back inside his cloak. And just who is this friend of yours? Why, she's the original owner, of course. She would very much like her property returned to her. No deal. We don't make trades with the dead. But you're happy enough to steal from them? Let me just go tell my friend where your little hideout is. I'm sure she'll be more persuasive than myself. Fool, this place is sacred ground. No bad spirits can enter here. Now get out before we pick you clean. All right. No need to be crass. Not content to sit on this hoard, the rat's eyes dart for, new earning opportunities. I'm taking this. Is there anything else? Return to the church altar. No spirits may cross the threshold, eh? Well then, I'll just have to invite one in myself. You eye the flat surface of the barren altar. It looks like the perfect place to conduct the seance. A spirit board recipe. What do I need for one of those? Grave bones, necromantic charms. And, what was the last thing? Right. The wicked gemstone. I'm gonna need dog hair.
More moments later.
You know what, this isn't where I intended to be for that, but you know what, it works. Wicked gemstone. Ah, right, the necromantic charm. Perfect. You close your eyes and place your hand on the planchette of the spirit board. Concentrating hard, you try to focus your thought towards the haunted mansion. Hello? Can you hear me? Show a sign. The planchette begins to twitch and move, slowly tracing out letters on the board. Who is this? Oh, come on now, who else would it be? I'm calling to let you know I found where the rat is. You might want to come down here and speak to him. The lights flicker within the halls and dim down until you are drenched in total darkness. Only a blood-red glow throbs from the altar. Wind rushes through the church, and you can hear the squealing of rats as they dive for cover. On the gale come the screams of the dead, reverberating through the halls. The spirit board shudders and splits with the noise, and a skeletal hand claws its way out from the deep peephole of the cracked planchette. Yeah, he is here. I can smell him. Right through that crack in the wall, actually. The vengeful spirit howls and flies straight through your body as she sweeps down into the rat's hideout. Ugh, it's chilly. Wait for me, I need to see how this ends. Hell yes. You dare take from me? How did you? Wait, it's just a simple misunderstanding, I didn't. Even in your hour of judgment, you lie? The rat's bulging eyes lock into you into desperation. This is your doing, isn't it? You let her in here. I'm merely helping to settle the dispute. You thought all your grave robbing wouldn't come with consequences. Face justice for your crimes, thief! The dead have come for you. The banshee whirls around like a hurricane, drawing with her an innumerable host of ghosts and spirits. No, no, get off us, you wretches! You are dead, finders keepers! Spectral claws grab onto the rat and his verminous minions and drag them squealing into the underworld. With the crack of thunder, the howling wind evaporates. Not a single rat remains. A calm falls over the banshee as she reaches down and picks up one of the scattered brooches left on the floor. My brooch. It's back. It's safe. I can finally sleep. She clutches her treasure to her breast and looks at you with a final crooked smile before fading away in a glimmer of a ghostly smoke. In the eerie silence of the cave, you see something squirming in the debris. You brush aside some pilfered treasure and uncover a writhing mass of pink rat tails tangled together like worms. Yuck, looks like they got all knotted up trying to escape. The soul of the rat. A rat knot. You sense the souls of the fish, cat, rat, and ram pulse with malignancy. The goat will be wanting to take custody of these four, best not keep him waiting. Back to the church. I could do a hearth seed, but I want to talk to the grave robber. Or not grave robber, the grave keeper first. Oh, look at that. There's now ghosts in the church. You know what? I will make one hearth seed to use after I speak with the gravekeeper. Finally some peace around here. Well, if that's all you have to say, I'm going home. It doesn't even really take me back home, it just takes me into the decay. Oh, little goatee man. The goat snorts with delight at your approach. Wonderful, you've returned with more souls. These were even more troublesome than the last. I will be glad to be rid of them. If you would be so kind, bring them to the shrine. Then we will be one step closer to concluding our business together. The bronze bell. The clanging of the ram's bronze bell rings out in your ears. Many voices chanting in unison, grabbing hands, trampling feet. The cat skin boots. The machinations of the cat unfold before you as her boots burn away before the shrine. Pieces moving on a game board. Cheats. Laughter. Lies. The rat knot. Sensations of the rat fill your mind. Tiny feet scratching at crumbling walls, digging cold earth, snapping brittle bones, taking, stealing, hiding. The captain's cap. You hold your breath as the salty feeling of the fish washes over you. A sound of creaking wood, jagged barnacles, crashing waves, fading light. Betrayal. Your shoulders straighten as if a great weight is lifted from them. The maiden stirs in her sleep, troubled by fitful dreams. Only 4 more souls are left until... Words. Only 4 more souls left until our contract is fulfilled. But I expect it has been a tiring day. Come, you should get some sleep. Yes, I could rest. And with that, we are into the last third of the game. We are already over halfway done. We're not quite 3/4, but we're close. So it was 3 first, then 4. I believe this is going to be another 3. And then the last one is singled out. It's special. But I'm going to leave that here for now. I am so happy that you all have joined me for this. I want to finish this game before I move on to another one because I have a very bad habit of starting games. I do want to finish things. And I will see you all in... sorry. If you made it this far, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things that help small creators out. I appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye!